Hi YouTube, and welcome to another video. Thank you for joining me today. Today we are going to be cutting some linings for some of our African fabric bags that we're going to be making. So I'm going to be cutting some lining on my little rotary cutter ruler mat, and I'm going to be making some bookmarks. Not bookmarks, but some book sleeves. So just stay tuned for that. I'll probably take you through some of the process, not all of the process, but I just wanted to get started with cutting the fabric, cutting the lining. I've already cut the fabric, and I'm going to start with the word of the Lord. And the word of the Lord is coming from our box of prayer cards from our friend Audrey. Thank you, Audrey. I'm still using my prayer cards. So our prayer is coming from Psalm 61, verses 1 and 2. And it reads, "Hear my cry, O God, attend to my prayer. From the end of the earth, I will cry to you. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I." Thank you for joining me for the word of the Lord. And we will go down. I will put you down, and we will go ahead and cut our lining fabric for our pouches. And we're going to do 4 of them, but I'm going to stack up my fabric and use my rotary, what do you call this thing? I don't know. It's a rotor. The mat rotates around, so it's a rotating mat is what it is. So let's see. That's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put you down. Down, down, down. So I just pressed these fabrics on my, heat press. And I'm just going to lay them down, and I may have to get my other mat that's a little bit bigger than this one, but we'll see. We shall see. I'm going to just stack up probably 6. I might try to stack up all 8 of them. I need 8 linings for my bags. So we might just stack up all 8 and see if my rotary cutter can cut through all 8. I think I got more than 8 here, but we're just going to stack them all up and see what we can do. Oh, that's a little thick. Yeah, that's a little thick, so I'm going to take some of them off. And we got about maybe 4 of them on there. I'm going to put my template that I made from my Glowforge, and I'm going to go for it. Let me see, I'll put it up here a little bit. Make sure that I'm catching all of the beginning edges, and we're gonna go for it. So I'm just gonna dig my rotary cutter in there, cut across, then I'm gonna rotate the mat. A lot of times I'll just cut off because my template is not the best, but I want to cut it out in acrylic, but I didn't have enough acrylic to do it, so I used wood. But I'll probably cut them out again, but I'll probably use some acrylic next time. But this is just how I'm going to cut them. And so how many do I have? I have enough for 1 and enough for 2, and then a half of 1. So we will get this out the way. We will throw this into our little trash bin. We have a little trash bin on the side. And now we're going to cut the rest of these. And these are going to be for the inside. These are going to be the lining. So I'm going to just take my template again. Put it over here. And I am going to cut. And I'm just going to rotate my mat. rotate some more. And rotate some more. I've been taking pictures of all my inventory, going through my inventory and writing it down so I'll know what I have. And that's all I've been up to lately. I crocheted a little bit, but I'm not sure how that project's going to turn out. So we shall see how that project is going to turn out. But let's see if I have enough for this project. Oh yeah, I have an extra one. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, I got my front door open, so the wind is blowing. I got my window open in my room. It's a beautiful day here in California. And so I got the window open, fresh air blowing. You can see my little zippers I put on this. I got tacks on my wall over there, and I got some zippers hanging up over there. So I'm going to go ahead and start on my project, and I will try to get some of it filmed. When I use my heat press to press these fabrics, I use my spray bottle that I got from the quilt show, and I use a little bit of Best Press. This is some pressing solution like a starch or something, but it makes your fabric smell really, 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 really good. So stay tuned. I'll take you along on the process. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one. Back to show you how I keep my room clean. I have my ruler, and over here I have a big old suitcase-like little thing that I keep my rulers in. So I just stick my ruler in there. I have my little board that I keep all of the other boards in. I have another one over here for scrap lining fabric that I'll just throw in there, because I'll use these for other projects. And then I have my interfacing that I put on the back of all of these. I put those on the top because I'm going to be using these for a scrap project. And then in the bottom one, there's extra pieces of material. So these will be for, this is a piece of scrap from a different project, but I'll use it when I cut out more bookmarks from these book sleeves from these fabrics. And then these are scraps, but I will zigzag 2 pieces together. And when I zigzag them together, it will make one piece, and then I can use it for a book sleeve because I don't leave any scraps behind. And then these are some longer ones that I'll put together and use. And even these ones from projects long ago, I'll put 3 of these together and it'll be enough. I'll zigzag them and it'll be enough. I still have a whole bolt of interfacing, but these are just scraps of fabric, so why should I waste it when I can still utilize it for a project? So I'll do that on the day that I have downtime and I'm doing nothing. I will continue to put these pieces together. I've done it before to make pieces for quilts and stuff, so I'll just put those in there and I'll use them. So these are the book sleeves that I'm going to make, and they're the same as the oh, this was different. Okay, these 2 are the same, and then these 2 are the same, and they're the same as the little pouches that I'm going to make. And then these are the same. And then last but not least, then these are the same. And I'll probably cut the little stragglies off. Or maybe I won't. We'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and get the sewing now. I got to put my sewing machine back up here on the table. Okay, and I forgot, I do need to, I got the lining cut for these, but now I need to go find lining for these. So I'll just go in my other room and get some of my, well, no, it's not even in the other room anymore. It's up there. I'll just go over there and get some of my fabrics up there and cut out some linings for these. So I'll be back. See you later. Bye. Didn't cut all the way, so I'll just use my scissors and cut. So I'm going to put right sides together. And use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, as soon as I can, oh, here it is. As soon as I can find my trusty thread stand. See how she's in my bobbin? Got a lot cut off. It's really small in there, but we manage. Trash on the side. Needle threader. And this is my $100 sewing embroidery combo that I got at Walmart. So there is a video on the channel about it. Let's see, we are going to sew this with a 5.5 seam allowance. And I'm not going to pin it because it should be good enough without pins. And I could have pivoted the corner, but oh well. Usually that's what I do. I'll pivot the corner. I've had this fabric for so long. I got it at Joann's on the boat. I think I made a bunch of pillowcases and I embroidered my family members' names on them for a Christmas party one year, me and my daughter, when she was still in high school. And I still have some of it, but I've had so many bolts of fabric from Joann's over the years. Okay, so we sewed one of those. Now let's sew one of these bookmarks. I'll just put right sides together, and we're only sewing around 3 sides, just 3 sides. And the bookmarks, I think I'll sew them at 6.5. And this I probably should have pinned because I can tell it shifted a little bit, but that's okay. It's a straight stitch. Let's see. So I will pivot this one, but I need to go down a little bit more. And I can pivot. I'm going to hold it together. Getting warm here in California. See, yep, we will just pivot on down. And there we have that. Now we will turn this right side out and get my little scissors and kind of cut the corners a little bit. Cut the corners a little bit. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I made a boo-boo because I was supposed to leave a hole in here to turn because I don't like to do the other method. So let me get my seam ripper. This is a seam ripper. It will be your best friend as a sewer. So if you just forget to leave a hole in something in the bottom, you just seam rip it out. Let's see. My thread is the same color as my fabric, so it's like I can't see it. So I'm going to go over here and grab a couple of stitches to seam rip and open the hole back up. Okay. Wasn't paying attention. I was not paying attention. That's why I usually pin, so that way, sometimes I'll pin so that way I don't forget. But I forgot. But no big deal. You just kind of open it up again so you can turn it. So I'm going to go back and I am going to leave myself, I'm going to backspace these so that way when I go to put it back on 5.5. That way the seam won't come apart when I am Yep. So now I'll just cut off my little straggler threads. And yeah, I'll cut off my straggler threads, and I'm going to cut this where then I'm going to turn this inside out. This is the book sleeve. I'm going to turn it inside out. Poke out my little corners best I can. Finger press it a little bit. Just kind of finger press it a little bit. Get those little corners out. Finger press. Usually I'm listening to music when I'm doing this, but I don't want to be copyrighted by YouTube. So I got music in my head all day long, every day. Leave a comment down below. Who's your favorite artist? I don't really listen to what they call secular music. I mostly only listen to gospel music. The only time I listen to secular music is when my kids or my grandkids are driving me somewhere. Or if I'm in one of their cars, and then, you know, that's what they play, so I don't complain. But when they're in my car, they have to listen to my music, and I don't listen to secular music, so. Oh, is this the short one? I think this one was, no. Yep, this was the short one. I think this was the short one. It's one of my cut a little bit shorter, but we are going to stick it in there anyway because I want it to be shorter on the inside. And I am going to go ahead and go ahead and use pins for this. My little Hobby Lobby cart over there. Yeah, I am doing a video. What's up, honey?
Say hello, I'm waking up.
Okay, hello, honey. You're waking up. Yep, so I am going to probably do a voiceover for this part because I messed it up. But that's okay. That's all right. Come on, team. Let's fight, fight, fight. These are really, really easy. Some people use bows, put bows on them. I don't put bows. I put a snap when I'm done. But I've been wanting to try it with the bow, so I may put a bow on one day. Probably not today because I'm only doing these 4 right here, right now. But yeah. Just poke myself, which is why I don't really like to use pens because I don't like poking myself. I don't like poking myself. So then when I get that all around, get my little seam ripper over there, get all my little parts over here, over there, I will take off my arm and I will put this around. I like to start on the seam just like with my purses. I like to start on the seam and I don't know what that was about, but it gave me like a different little thing. So sometimes when it gives me little odd little things, I'll just turn it off and turn it back on. And get it back to where I need it to be. So I am going to sew this with a seam allowance 1/8 of an inch, and then I'm going to probably go back around it again once I get this connected. So I'm going to sew this with my stitch width all the way over to a 7. I don't know if you can see that, but this is a 7 right here. And then I have a 2.5 stitch length. Okay, there we go. So, and then I am going to bring this back so I can put my pins back in it. When you're straight stitching, a lot of times everything's forgivable. Because especially if you're not garment sewing, and I don't sew garments at all. I only do quilting, bag making, stuff like that. Although years ago I did make a Carol Zoo teddy bear. I made a bunch of teddy bears. I gave most of them away. Back to my beginning, so I'm just going to back stitch over that a little bit. Cut my thread. I'll get my little teddy bear to show you. I made this little Carol Zoo teddy bear years ago with a fat quarter from Joann's, and I made all the fat quarters, so I had 2 sets, and it takes 2 fat quarters to make this, and I kept this one, and then I crocheted this little crown and put this little bow on it. But this is a Carol Zoo pattern, and when I showed the tour of my room, the patterns on the wall over there, they are the bear pattern. This is the medium size. They have a big one and a small one. The big one is too big. The little one is too little, but this was my favorite size, so I made a bunch of these. But this is out of fabric, and I did line it with I did use interfacing with that same interfacing I put on the back of this is in this bear, and I gave away all the other ones, but this was my favorite one, and I kept this one for myself. But that's my little bear. He lives on my little wall over there. And now I'm going to put you back down, and I am going to take this off, and I am going to turn it inside out. So I'm just going to turn it inside out through the little hole that we had to go back and remake. so we are all connected. We will push our corners out. Even though this is going to be the inside, it's not going to make a difference. A lot of time I'll just use a pen and grab my corners out with the pen. Just, that works. There's purple things and all that, and I have all those things, but a lot of times I don't even use them. I just push it out with my hand, and then I will just get rid of all the little stragglies, push the lining back in, and sew across. Then I will just cut my little stragglers away. Uh-oh, did I cut my fabric? I think I did. I cut my fabric, but it's already sealed. So I'm just going to seal that up a little bit further down where I cut the fabric a little bit. Backspace. Make sure that won't come out. This fabric is super soft. So I'm just going to cut away my little stragglies. See, my little scissors are not. I've had these scissors for quite some time. I don't even think they sell these scissors anymore. But now, there we go. And now what I will do is I will poke my lining back down into my bookmark, to my book sleeve. I don't know why I keep calling it a bookmark. And even though this was like a little bit shorter, it works out perfect. It's not too big in there. And then I will kind of like press it down a little bit all the way around because I want to go back over the top. And I think I'm going to keep that same thread in there. What you can do is you can like change your thread to match. Sometimes I'll stick pins in here to keep this down, and sometimes I'll press it. But today we're just going to sew it. We are going to sew it. And not all pins are created equally. These little tiny blue head pins that I got from Joann's many, many, many years ago, they are kind of like a fine pin, and I really like them. I really like these fine little pins. They go in really easily. But like this pin with the big head, not so much. These are not so great. They're okay, but they're not as fine as the other ones. And you don't have to put this many pins in if you don't want to. It's up to you. It's a preference. That's what I like about sewing. Everything's my preference. Everything's your preference. Whatever you feel like doing, whatever works for you. We should say that. Whatever works for you. All right. So now we have that in there. Now we're going to, while we still have the arm off, we're going to go back, stick it back in there. And this time, I am going to change. Do I want to put a different color thread? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to keep that thread. But I think I'm going to change my stiff length from a 2.5 length to a 3.0. And I'm also going to change my stick length. I'm going to change my width over to a 6.5. Yeah, to a 6.5. And then we are going to start sewing. Backspace a little bit. And it's a little tight. This arm is, I notice on this machine, this arm is like kind of fat. Fatter than some of my other sewing machines. So when you do a little project like this, you don't have a lot of room. But it's okay. I have my little dish right here that I'm putting my pins in. Probably trying to change my needle as well because I've been sewing on this needle for a while and I need to change it. Okay. Throwing some of my threads into this little, to my little dish right here. I'm almost at the end. And then when I connect them, I will go back a little bit and then I will cut my thread with my thread cutter. Then I will cut this thread as well. And then I'm not going to press it because I don't have my iron set up, but I'm just going to kind of finger press it right now. So I don't know if you can see the inside, but there's the inside. And I am going to put a Kam Snap on it. So let me grab my Kam Snaps and show you how I put a Kam Snap. So I'll put that right there, give you something pretty to look at while I get my Kam Snap. Okay. Here are my Kam Snap pliers. And then I have some Kam Snaps in here, but I'm going to use the ones that's in here. I'm going to put this away as soon as I'm done using it. And then so I have this little bucket right here that has Kam Snaps in it. And then I also have another awl in here. So they're about the same size. I think this one may be a little bit bigger, but they look about the same size. So I'm just going to use this one, put this one back in there in the little tray. And for my Kam Snaps, I think I'm going to use this gold one. Let's see, should I use a white one? I think I'm going to use gold. Nope, I'm going to use this gold one. So I'm going to get a female part, a male part. I don't know if you could tell. Let's see if I can get that in the camera. Uh-oh, that part and then that part. They're different. One's higher up and one's lower down. So I'm going to get those two. And then I'm going to get these two pieces right here. And these two pieces are the exact same. Okay. And then I am going to put that back. And then what you do, sit here on the bed. What you do is you take your piece. Uh-oh, let me see. Maybe I need to go back just a little bit. You're going to take your piece. Make sure it's all nice and even. So you take your piece. I'm going to get my little thread off of there. you take your awl. So you take the awl, and then you kind of eyeball the center. If you know where the center is, that's fine. If not, I'm just going to poke it. Let's see. I think my center is about right here. So I'm going to go down a little bit. I'm going to poke my pokey tool through there. I'm not sure if you can see my little pokey tool, but I might be off a little bit, but that's okay. Poke my little pokey tool. And then I'm going to take, where did my other one go? Did it fall on the floor? I think one of my pieces fell on the floor. Let me get another one, because I need two. I need two of these ones. Okay, I still have my pokey tool in there. And what I like to do is I like to take my pokey tool out, and I like to go ahead and stick in my little Kam Snap part. So I stuck the little button part in there, and then I stick on one of the other sides, and then I kind of smash it down right just with my hands. Then I'll put the other side on. Sometimes I have to look on the inside to see where my hole is. And then I'll put that part in there where the hole was, and then I'll put the other part and just put it in there with my hand. And then what you do with the tool, this little black part right here is like a little tray. I don't know if you can see that. You can tell that's a tray. So what you do is you put the button part inside the tray. So the button, my little piece fell off. This little button part right here, it goes into that little black tray. I'm going to put that in the little black tray. And once it's in the tray, let me see if I can put the camera down a little bit. Once it's in the tray, let's see. Move stuff out the way. Once it's in the tray, then you can smash down on it. And it will smash that pointed part that was on the... So if you could tell, it smashed the little pointed part. Like, I'll take this part off. Let's see, because I haven't smashed it yet. Oh, here's my other one. So this little pointed part right here, that's what the little... you put the button in the tray, and the little clear, transparent part smashes the little stem of that to cause the two pieces to connect together. So we have that one smashed. We have that one smashed, and now we're going to smash the other one. So we're going to stick it in the tray. Make sure that it's sitting in the tray. And then we are going to smash it. And then when you smash them, you snap it together. See. Then it snaps together. Oop, I got that one off. But it's okay. So there it is. So it doesn't look so off on this side, but it looks off on this side. But there you go. And then you can unsnap it. Snap it back. Unsnap. Snap it back and unsnap. And then I will put a book inside of it. Let's get a book. So here's a thick book, and you can put this book in there, and it snaps together. So it's in there, and it's snapped. Then you can undo this book. Let's see how tall this book is. This book is about 8.5 inches, because this was cut in the beginning 8.5 by 11. That's what I cut both pieces. this book is 9 inches. So we'll see if this one will snap with this book in there. Yep, it even snaps with this book in there. This is a thin paperback book. And this is Black Beauty. And this is by Dr. Addie Ellis. Awesome book. Get it on Amazon. And then we have also an old Kindle. Now this Kindle I've had for over 20 years, but I cannot find a charger. The charger that I had to go with it, I can't even find it. But it fits my old Kindle. It doesn't fit my iPad. I don't think it will fit my iPad. But I don't know. It will fit my iPad. Nope, it won't fit my... It might. Oh yeah, it will. It will fit my iPad. Interesting. It will fit my iPad. Let's see. I'm probably going to cover up the camera for a minute. It will even fit my iPad. And I have an iPad Air 3. And let's see. And then this is a notebook that I have. That I got from Falling Prices. And I think this one's a tight fit, but it still will fit it. I don't know if I can close it. Once I get this book in there. Now I can get my book in there, my journal in there, but I can't close it in the top with my journal in there. Let me see. Maybe if I took the paper out. Maybe if I took these papers out. See, some Bible study notes. Nope. Yeah, well, it's a tight snap, but it will snap. It's a tight snap, but it snaps. So there's a book sleeve. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you go and make your own book sleeve. Thanks for watching. God bless. You have an awesome and an amazing day. Be blessed, my friends.